Thank you, Lucy. That was wonderful. It really was. I'm very grateful to you for your efforts on this. It is difficult at best to find an institution that works well for your child. Any parent who has had to pick a school for their child can tell you that finding a spot that works well for their child can be extremely hard to do, much less having to find one school that works nicely for 3 children over a period of 10 years. Kids with different personalities, different educational and emotional needs. And yet, we have been supremely lucky, I think, to have landed at Yeshiva Har Torah, where our children have been since Melanie started in kindergarten far too many years ago. I will say that the one distinct memory I have, Jennifer of all things was out of town, which she never is, when the open house came up, and after going, at her insistence I will add, the first thing I said when I called her was, "You have to see this place." One of the big reasons for that is our next speaker. I'd like to invite Rabbi Gary Menchel, the principal and guiding light of Yeshiva Har Torah, to come up and speak a few words to us.
Thank you very much, Dan, for that beautiful introduction. It's a great pleasure to be here. Great pleasure to represent Yeshiva Har Torah along with Rabbi Silverman and Ms. Kletenik and Laura Ben Ari. All of us are here to celebrate with Lucy. Where is Leora? And with the entire family. So we wish Mazal Tov to Dan and to Jennifer, to Melanie, to Juliet, to all the family and friends who have joined us. You know that in Sefer Shmot, which we began yesterday with Parshat Shmot, the book of Exodus, the rabbis teach us in the Gemara and Sota, Bizchut nashim tzidkaniyot nigalu avoteinu mitzrayim. In the merit of righteous women, our ancestors were redeemed from Egypt. And we have in yesterday's Torah reading our introduction to the midwives, the Miyaldot. And the Miyaldot were exceptional women. Different commentaries refer to Shifra and Puah as different people. Some say it was a mother and a daughter, Yocheved and Miriam. Some a mother and a daughter-in-law, Yocheved and Elisheva. Others say others. In any event, the Torah describes them not by using their given name, but using their attributes. Shifra and Puah, 2 individuals who are very sensitive and skilled in taking care of children, young infants as they were born, helping in the birthing process, and then being able to coo and to calm and to take care of the baby as the baby was born. And we all know that Paro had commanded the midwives to, at the time that they saw on the birthing stool that the baby was ready to be born, if it was a girl, let them live. If it was a boy, do not let them live. And this was Paro's grand plan, to bring an end to the Jewish people, because he thought that ultimately the women, the young girls, would grow up to be women, and they would intermarry, and the boys would no longer exist, and therefore the Jewish nation would come to an end. The reality was that in the Sefer Ikvei HaParshiot, Rav Dushinsky explains that in fact, the young women, as they grew older, they didn't want to marry the Mitzrim, the Egyptians, but chose instead to stay within and to marry exclusively Jewish slaves in Egypt. And that was the culmination of that section of the righteous women of the Jewish people, making sure that the Jewish nation would be preserved and the continuity would be there. What's interesting is that Shifra and Puah, these midwives, were clearly very strong individuals and very unique and independent thinkers. They didn't go with the flow. They didn't do what Paro asked them to do. They did what they thought was morally correct and stood up for what they believed to be the right thing. And I was thinking about our bat mitzvah, because Lucy, in her quiet way, is an independent thinker. She doesn't necessarily go with the flow. She does what's right. She has strong principles, and she has strong convictions. She knows what's right and what's wrong. And she does the right thing because it's right, regardless of what's going on around her. And that independence is a sign of strength and a sign of quiet leadership. And Lucy is, Baruch Hashem, a delight to have in school, a wonderful student, highly motivated, asks great questions. You can ask two of her teachers who are here, Ms. Kotenik and Rabbi Silverman, said in the Gemara classes that she's been in these last 2 years, she always asks the insightful question and benefits the entire class in the process. And so Lucy is a young lady who is destined for great things. We have no doubt. She has, just in the choice of her theme for the Bat Mitzvah, and in her beautiful speech that she gave just a few moments ago, she has clearly expressed her individuality and her independence. And those are wonderful qualities that undoubtedly have been cultivated by wonderful parents. Any one of us who knows Jennifer and Dan, they clearly are outstanding parents and outstanding partners with us at Yeshiva HaTorah, really always looking out for what's best for the children, consulting and discussing, and then really being fabulous role models of parenthood. And it's clear when you have young ladies growing up in a home, each one different, each one unique, it's important to let each one be themselves. And that's what I see in the beautiful young lady that Leora, that Lucy, is growing up to be. So we're all proud of you, Lucy, and we look forward to great things. We wish you a tremendous Mazal Tov to your wonderful parents. We look forward to looking on as you continue to assert your independence and your uniqueness, as you take your special place in the Jewish people. And Emir Hashem, we look forward to great things to come. Mazal Tov.